for the 49ers trying to win out, take the #1 seed in the NFC. This is Owen. Second straight week returning kicks to the 29. Here comes the Colts offense.
Him underneath center, but I do believe the game plan will open up.
Rivers going to air it out to start his night. Pittman downfield underthrown, looking for a flag and won't get it. So there you go. They're going to shut this one down for a false start. And so 2nd and 10 becomes 2nd and 15.
False start. Offense number 60. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Late handoff. It's Taylor looking for somewhere to go, and over the left side takes it to the 30. Rivers steps up, drops it off. He's got a first down as Taylor hit the Jets and took it out to midfield. Like a traffic cop, putting guys in place, and he's got a man wide open. That's Downs. And just like that, inside the 35 of the 49ers go the Colts. Hand off to Taylor's got a lot of room. This 49ers defense is number 7. I think he knows the playbook. 2nd down and 7. Pass is broken up. It was the rookie Tyler Warren that was the target.
Fit in on the outside, the corner. Luter, he comes off of it, and he's there to make a play at the end of it. And if Rivers sees that Luter's cheating with his eyes, looking that he had a chance for Michael Pittman just in behind it.
Flag on the play. Underneath, Pittman, first down with a flag down.
Illegal formation. Offense number 75 lined up in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
3rd down and 12. Rivers steps up. He finds Downs, who's got a first down.
Outstanding job. 3rd down passing by Phillip Rivers.
Quick throw. Warren looking for blocking and a minimal gain of. Looks like a free play. Rivers, end zone. He's got his man. Pierce. Touchdown Colts.
Keep an eye here on Jair Brown, the safety, and Alec Pierce, when he gets up the field, the move that he puts on him, Rivers knows he's got a free play, but it's the move at the top of that route by Alec Pierce that gets Jair Brown out of position and a chance then to make the play. Joe, last week, Phillip Rivers' longest completion, 17 yards.
It's a 20-yard completion, high snap, and the extra point is good. And Rivers starts his night 5 for 7, 73 yards. Moment for the family of Phillip Rivers.
Oh, man, that was a clinic.
Brian Robinson on the return. 49ers are down by 7. What he was doing into the camera that put him on the video board here at Lucas Oil Stadium.
He rushed for over 40 yards in that game, and a couple of them really timely.
Over the middle, this is Kittle, and what an adjustment. Boy, he's as good as ever at 32 years old, 26 yards working against the linebacker, Jermaine Pratt.
Well, he gets pressure. Dominic Pooney, the right guard, gets pushed right back into Brock Purdy's lap, so he's not able to really follow through on the throw. This ball kind of hangs on him a little bit, but they've got split.
Play action from Purdy under pressure, and over the middle finds McCaffrey. And a nice gain on first down. Pratt in on the stop, but a gain of 6. Season, he'd be the first to do it twice. Here he is over the right side. First down plus. He's been a little frustrated, Troy, with the ground game.
They've had 30 rushing attempts in each of the last 3 games.
Again, it's McCaffrey coming off the 9-yard run. This time he's forced out by Pratt, gain of 2. End zone. Robinson for the touchdown.
See the safety here. This is who Purdy's got to affect. He's going to look him over to the left, get him out of the way, and he knows he's got one-on-one to the middle then with Demarcus Robinson. The timing of the throw is it out there for him. Great execution.
Brock Purdy 3 for 3, 54 yards, and that 22-yard touchdown right down the field after the opening salvo from the Colts. Amir Abdullah on the return. Not a lot of room. Ball's out. 49ers look like they're on it. And it's Tonjes, their tight end, who comes away. And he was.
He sure was. He's kind of stood up. There's a pile there in the middle. And in he came, and he just punches it right out. That's a big break in a game like this. Special teams being a big factor here in the early going.
So a big play. His group makes a play. Brown knocks it out. Back to work, the 49ers offense, and Kittle. First down inside the 15.
With special teams field position like they're getting on this drive, that's good.
McCaffrey left side. Spins away from the tackle, and on 1st and 10 gets 6.
He and his family were sure thrilled to get him back in San Francisco.
So was Kittle and his family. Here's McCaffrey over the left side. Forced out right at the marker by Nick Cross.
You're not going to be playing for this organization long.
1st and goal. Robinson stood up by Neville Gallimore. Purdy. He's got his guy, and guess who? McCaffrey.
Christian McCaffrey has been such a big part of the passing game. This is the route, but keep an eye on Jermaine Pratt, the middle linebacker. And as Christian McCaffrey, his eyes are in the wrong spot. He's looking all over the field. Doesn't pick up McCaffrey until he gets up on him. Just an easy completion for the touchdown. There's a look at McCaffrey working his way through the line of scrimmage, but it is a mismatch, really, for any linebacker trying to run and cover. And he's been a big part, of course, of what they've done in the passing game.
And after the fumble by Abdullah on the kick return, 46 games with the 49ers for McCaffrey after the trade in 2022. He's got 46 touchdowns, averaging 1 a game. He's got 1 tonight. Here's a nice return. Tiptoeing down the sideline is Coleman Owen, and we'll send it down to Laura.
Phillip Rivers is calling a game at a different level than they're accustomed to.
Rivers, Downs, a couple of big hits, and his knee went down after that initial.
When you give up the touchdown and then your special teams fumbles the ball.
Here's a first down carry by Jonathan Taylor.
380, good.
Quick setup, dumped over the middle, and a nice job knocking it away by the rookie Upton Stout.
Phillip Rivers, he picked that apart. I mean, he absolutely knew where they were going with their guys.
Here's the tight end, that's Ogletree. He got a first down. On first down, Rivers steps up and overthrows Ogletree.
Good play that way.
Rivers, good protection. He's got Alec Pierce, who has a touchdown in the ball game, and this catch gets 17 working against Luter. Here's Downs. He gets dumped by Upton Stout. 2nd and 7. Downs, spinning grab, first down, out of bounds at the 9. Thrown out by Huff. In this first quarter than he had all of last week at Seattle. On 1st and goal, Taylor spinning to the 5. Flag comes flying in, thrown by Ron Torbert.
Holding. Offense number 68. 10-yard penalty. First down.
7 of his 9 completions, at least 10 yards. This one's batted in the air, and it falls to the turf. As it was Kalia Davis who got his hand on that throw to bring up 2nd and goal from the 18.
Yeah, Tyler Warren, number 84, the tight end rookie, he was a little slow getting up after this. He get pounded right at the end of this once that ball.
Little quicker at the line. Taylor, nothing. Tatum Bethune, and boy, are they happy to have him back. They lost future Hall of Famer Fred Warner in Week 6 at Tampa Bay. With
Case he needs to get some action tonight.
3rd down and goal. To the end zone. Touchdown again. Alec Pierce. Take some more looks at that touchdown throw of 16 yards from Rivers.
Why it was completed for the touchdown.
First career game for Alec Pierce in his 4th year.
But every ball was put where it had to be. And he didn't throw in. I know he threw the interception at the end when he's trying to get him back and had no chance.
Here's Sky Moore. Good effort on the return as he's forced out by Olubi after covering on that kick. Out to the 31 went Sky Moore, and now Christian McCaffrey off to a good start. Brought down by Nick Cross, but not before he got 12.
Little movement up front. And this is against a defense that's been awfully good against the run.
Pass over the middle is broken up. Jennings the target. Lisa? Well, he's got 8 touches. He's got 46 yards and a touchdown. They fake it to him here, and Purdy is able to complete. And the catch is made by Kendrick Bourne, and with that, Purdy steps through. Going to try to get it with his legs. Let's see where they put it down. Right now they're marking him just short. 4th down and 1. And a push, a Purdy push with Juszczyk behind.
Because of that 3rd down scramble by him that gave Shanahan an opportunity to make a decision.
McCaffrey inside the 30. Juszczyk leading the way again in a run of 18 yards for Christian McCaffrey.
This is some of what we've seen this year from Kyle Shanahan and Juszczyk. He comes back here, and then he's going to be the lead blocker. So he starts in capable of doing those types of blocks and those type of movements that you see from Kyle Juszczyk.
He's missed the last 5 games with a neck injury. As Purdy surveys, finds McCaffrey, and McCaffrey fights his way through Jermaine Pratt to get a 1st down. He was on the injury report last week with a bad back. Got up gingerly after that last catch and run. He's off to a great start as Brian Robinson, who was picked up from the Commanders before the season. Good drive, 2nd down and 4. Purdy throws back across the field and has a touchdown. George Kittle. For the 6-time Pro Bowl tight end.
It's a dangerous throw by Purdy when you're throwing back. Kittle does a great job. He's running to the back corner, knowing that he can't beat the defender.
Extra point by Pinheiro is good. Tyler Goodson is back with Coleman Owen waiting for this kick. And it's going to be Goodson. From a yard deep in his end zone, flag flies.
And the return, holding by the return team, number 39. 10-yard penalty. Indianapolis' ball, 1st and 10.
When at full strength, they're a great offensive line. They're shorthanded right now.
Here's one to Taylor. And Jonathan Taylor got 5.
A quarterback that's right now playing at a high level.
2nd down and 4, and they do get home. 1st sack of the night. And it's big number 99, C.J. West, the rookie from Indiana. Back home again in Indiana as he gets sack number 1 of his pro career.
Well, you get pressure off this left side here, and then in the middle, like you say, with West, he just pushes, right through the double team, and so Rivers.
Back to a 4-man rush. Rivers out to his left. He's got Pittman. Long way to go, and Pittman won't get the 1st down. Hype coming back. He goes, what if I go out and pop my calf on the first play, throw 4 picks at Seattle? Be like, yeah, that was fun. Thanks for coming. But he said he was okay. If that was what happened, he was okay with that. He won.
Just as long as he's being productive and helping this offense.
Purdy gets hit, and it's caught by Luke Farrell. Farrell pulled it out of the air and turns it into a positive play. Pressure by Latu. Latu is able to get home. Ball's up and recovered by San Fran.
Latu is who beats Farrell. And he goes right around him, and as Farrell is trying to keep him from hitting the quarterback, he's right there to then catch the ball. Turns into a pretty good play.
2nd and 7. Here's one for McCaffrey, overthrown. Purdy, Kittle, flag on the play.
It looked like there might have been movement early by San Francisco at the cornerback position.
Use check in motion, toss to McCaffrey. Played well by this Indianapolis defense. Kyle Shanahan will tell you when they're healthy.
I think when they're healthy in the offensive line and the way Daniel Jones was playing, they had a Super Bowl offensive roster as well.
Here's a completion to Sky Moore. And a nice spinning catch and a big completion from Brock Purdy of 23.
Well, just great protection up front. Sky Moore, who's a dynamic player, he slips coming off the line of scrimmage. Talked to Kyle Shanahan about him yesterday as to, him getting more opportunities. It's just what they ask of the receivers is a little different from where he came from in Kansas City. But great protection allows him to get to the other side of the field.
McCaffrey trying to pick his way through this defense, not much room.
They're playing a lot more zone without Sauce Gardner. That's hard to do against this Niners defense or offense.
Kittle. What a first half he's had. Knocked down at the 22 and a gain of 17. And Purdy has started 11 of 14. On first down. Another completion, and now officially Kendrick Bourne has made his bonus. They are red hot. They won at Denver. Here's McCaffrey. 2nd down and 5. Purdy, McCaffrey, good tackle out on the edge. That was Cameron Mitchell. Kittle, spinning try. And the one-handed catch not to be. It's 4th down.
Run a natural pick with Demarcus Robinson. He just wasn't quite able to execute it, but a tough catch for George Kittle. One we've certainly seen him make, but the body control to get turned and try to make a play on that ball. Perfectly located by Purdy, just not quite able to connect.
Off the bad right hamstring. Knocks it through. In a perfect 26 for 26. They beat Tennessee 37 to 24, and they lead here tonight after a fast start in Indy by 10. Gonna air it out. Downs. It's not there. They tried a similar play on the first snap.
Anywhere near around 50 yards.
Late handoff. Taylor, and he is met. Nice play by Bethune, who came up to make the stop.
A lot of pressure on Phillip Rivers on that last throw in the pocket.
Now the near sideline, and he's got Downs. And Downs is out of bounds at the 27.
390, good.
First down from the 27. And a carry by Taylor. 3 timeouts left in Indianapolis.
Jonathan Taylor, they're getting a little bit.
And now because of it, we're going to have a false start, and they're going to be forced to use a timeout.
False start. Offense number 71. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
390, good.
That's 4 penalties against the Colts offensive line. Here's Taylor. Timeout.
390, good.
3rd down and 4. Rivers has to step up, and he underthrows the rookie tight end Tyler Warren, who has a groupie. 3rd kicker of the season for the Colts. Start of the year in New Orleans, and he drives it through.
And as it has been for Brock Purdy, both these quarterbacks played the position awfully well here in this first half.
Rivers threw a touchdown pass on 3rd and 16. He's 4 for 5 on 3rd down tonight. And now with 11 seconds after this good return by Sky Moore. Good protection. Time runs out. Pass is caught by Bourne. And now 3 seconds remain.
Doesn't want to get run over.
Here's the try from 64. Off the crossbar and out. Navigating all these injuries and has his team in a great spot. This is Brian Robinson on the return. Good return out across the 35, and
defense that has given up yards, and yet it's been the total opposite.
Here's Kittle again. What a game he's putting together. And an 11-yard score earlier in the game. Here's McCaffrey on the ground, and he's brought down with a 1-yard pickup by Nick Cross.
A lot of big plays, and it's why we've seen them put the points on the board that they have.
2nd and 9. Robinson dumped by Kenny Moore. Purdy. Jennings. Big first down for San Francisco. And Brock Purdy has been precise all night long. Has to get around Juszczyk there and able to find Kittle. Another great throw. 100-yard game for Kittle. Here's McCaffrey. And he gets brought to the ground by Neville Gallimore. 2nd down and goal. Purdy being chased. And has to throw it away. Chasing Purdy, and now 3rd and goal. Purdy. Jennings with a catch. Touchdown 49ers.
They bracket him coming out of the backfield, and Purdy recognizes it quickly. So he gets off him pretty quickly, and immediately then goes outside and delivers.
Jennings, as Pinheiro knocks the extra point through, continues to add touchdowns to 4 different targets. Coleman Owen on the return. Has a lane, and the lane shut down as he got to the 35.
Here in this game tonight.
Here's a handoff to Taylor. Nothing.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness defense. Number 2. Penalties 15 yards from the dead ball spot. Automatic first down.
See what Tiger Stanley is. It's a handoff to Taylor. Got a couple.
Well, there just has not been anything there for play by Phillip Rivers, even that much more impressive. He's had no run game.
Here's Pittman, his 2nd grab.
So was Collinsworth.
Yes, he was. Yeah, and returning to the offense put together by Shane Steichen. Here's pressure. Here's a pass that is behind Tyler Warren. 3rd and 7. Ironically enough, 3rd down and 7. Rivers drops it off, and it's incomplete. Downs was the target, and Stout was there for San Francisco. It's 4th down.
Yeah, well, a little changeup by Robert Saleh. Didn't get a chance to get into it, but there on 2nd down, he brought the blitz, and it's the first time he's blitzed tonight. And Rivers wasn't blitzed last week against Seattle. It was effective. You saw the ball was behind. It was incomplete. Now you get to 3rd down.
Low snap. Good hold. Kick is perfect. They all know Madden. And that's a good thing. As Groupie hits it. Returned by Sky Moore. And Moore is going to be out of bounds near the 31. Lisa, he is such a good young man, as everybody who's met with him has found out. It takes about 2 seconds to figure it out. He was just...
They're handing out.
Big hole for McCaffrey and a first down for the 49ers. Gone are the days of isotoner gloves, or are you saying that?
Snowmobiles and everything else.
E-bikes.
Yeah.
You name it. Purdy over the middle. Somehow Jennings makes that grab. Is able to make the catch.
Yeah, I was wondering if he was going to get up. A really good route, but look at this catch. I mean, these are the kinds of catches. He's such a physical, big receiver. He makes these type plays look routine. I mean, he's got a defender draped all over him, but he's a heck of a player.
Rookie Jonathan Edwards all over him. Here's a carry by Brian Robinson and more chunks. 5.5 to go, third quarter. Colts have no answers right now for this 49er defense. They have an answer for Robinson.
Down this 49ers offense at all.
361 yards of offense. Purdy and McCaffrey not on the same page. Morstead hasn't punted since November. 3rd and 9. Here's a catch by Bourne, and it's a short gain on 3rd down. 4th down coming up. Pressure by Latu. Missed 5 games with a bad hamstring early. Here is a try by Pinheiro. What a find he's been.
You know, Peyton was the quarterback back then. He was in his 93rd year, I think it was. But I thought Sean McVay showed great constraint in his post-game press conference.
There is no doubt. Here is Taylor over the right side. 3rd down coming up. Abdullah reversed course as he was on the move at the snap. Lenore makes the tackle, but not before 1st down.
380,
On 1st down, they fake the handoff. Here is Mo Alley Cox. A nice gain on 1st down. We saw George Kittle limp away earlier. Lisa, do you have any updates in his veteran abilities? 2nd and 2. Quick throw. Pittman fell down, and with that, a chance for Brown to make the stop, and he does. A loss of 1. 3rd down and 3, trying to pick it up on the ground, and brought down right at the line to gain is Taylor.
Tiger double sack, 380.
Taylor tries to bend it back, and there is no room. Mustafa made that play. 2nd down and 9. Perfect throw, Tyler Warren. Taylor gets the 1st down, and it's 1st and goal. Play action. Mo Alley Cox. The big body tight end takes it down near the 2, maybe the 1. They're going to mark it just in between. Away into the end zone. Robert Saleh trying to keep him out. 2nd and goal. Taylor is in for the touchdown.
Talked about, but they still have the All-Pro, Quentin Nelson, and he does enough inside on Elliott to allow Jonathan Taylor then one-on-one. That's a great drive by Indianapolis to cut this game to 1 score.
And it's a 7-point game.
And I even anticipated, and I think that last score by Indianapolis, I mean, at least now they put a little pressure back on San Francisco.
There is Sky Moore to the 30. That's it, and he is hit hard.
And this running game has gone after this defense. Has been really something to watch.
Perfect throw. Jennings hit in stride. And a 1st down out across the 45, a gain of 17.
Went down and did their part. Be demoralizing to give up more points on this drive.
Here's McCaffrey with a nice gain on 1st down.
I did not anticipate this kind of success.
Here's a toss to McCaffrey right side. Blocking out in front of him. See where they mark him out of bounds. McCaffrey got it, and then some. McCaffrey down inside the 25 and out of bounds near the 21. Trent Williams and Kyle Juszczyk paved the way.
20 yards exactly, and tonight he just set a new personal record on the season at 24 yards.
Boy, big Trent Williams was out there and just enveloping Colts defenders. Trent Williams will end up in Canton. An 11-time Pro Bowl tackle, a 3-time All-Pro, one of the best of his generation. 2nd and 9. Good protection again. Broken up for Brian Robinson. And a good play by Jermaine Pratt. Extra men on the rush. Jennings with a strong catch over the middle. And he's got another first down for the 49ers. Working against Jonathan Edwards.
I don't think we'll see him the rest of the night.
First down and goal tossed to McCaffrey, and he runs into Franklin and ends up losing. Last 3 games, it's 2nd down and goal with the ball sitting inside the 10 as the chains keep moving for the 49ers. And now Purdy getting some room. End zone shot. It's Tonjes out of bounds.
I mean, he is something. You're down here, and these 3 points are really important. And, boy, that was closer than I thought. I think it's a matter of whether or not his right foot is on the ground. It sure looks like it.
Does he maintain possession going to the ground? If he does.
I think he did.
I mean, he looked like he was dragging his feet. Those pellets are coming up. No challenge yet.
Yeah, that looked.
And they snap it instead on 3rd down and goal. Wide open, McCaffrey gets it instead.
Punch it in. Great job, baby.
Kittle watching from the sideline.
He was turned looking, but it looked to me like Franklin was the one responsible for that in the coverage assignment.
For a data-driven look at the game. Pinheiro kicks it away, and a return for Tyler Goodson. Trying to hit a home run. Spins to the 41 of San Francisco, and a late flag flies. Alubi guilty of the hold.
There were 2 fouls during the play, both by the return team. Holding. Number 50, that penalty is declined. Holding. Number 40, that penalty will be accepted. 10 yards.
Points on that drive, only to see flags and be backed up a lot further from where you would have been.
Here's a ball out. Knocked out. And the Colts, it looks like, are able to get back on it.
Well, such a great job by Collins, number 95. You know, he just barrels right through Tucker, knocks the ball out of Rivers, and they are fortunate to at least get back on it.
Danny Pinter, who's taken over at center, was there to recover, but the play made by second forced fumble, Collins, in his rookie year. This one's broken up. Warren had to wait for the pass, and D. Winters came back downfield and knocked it away. That he's a star in the making. 3rd down and 25. Rivers just going to air it out for downs, and they can't connect. It's 4th down, and the punter, Sanchez, comes on. Yeah, big penalty on special teams. Rigoberto Sanchez hits it. Sky Moore waits on his side of the 50 and takes it inside the Indianapolis 45 like he never left.
He's a Hall of Fame talker, that's for sure.
Here's a toss to McCaffrey. Started to say if the 49ers win and the Colts lose, the Bills.
Matter who's playing quarterback, who's playing on offense for the Colts. You're not going to win games with a defense playing like this.
Purdy out to his right, throws back, and is able to complete it to McCaffrey.
Still on this team.
Throw me a bone. Tonjes, what a catch. Boy, did he step up when George Kittle was injured early with a bad hamstring. 49ers have a date at home against the Bears and then at home against Seattle as McCaffrey is swallowed up by Kwity Paye.
You know, Sean Payton, everybody knows how great he's been. They got long resumes.
Here is a pick through the hands of Bourne. This game's not over yet. They finally get a takeaway as Cam Bynum gets the interception, and Phillip Rivers and company, they're alive with 4.5 to go. And if he did, it's his 4th interception of the season. And he did.
Yeah, it's just a ball that gets high on Purdy, and Bourne just not able to haul it in. But a great job by Bynum being there and being able to make a play. Here's a better look at it with Bourne coming across. The ball just sails on Purdy. And that's what you worry about as a quarterback, especially when you got a middle safety.
Rivers underneath. Pittman, he's been relatively quiet tonight. 2nd and 1. Here is Pierce. His big night continues down inside the 30.
It's such a great job by Pierce. I thought the ball was going to be on the outside, but he adjusts. It's
quick throw, picked off the other way. D. Winters, and he is gone. This is a pick 6, and this game's going to belong to San Francisco. The 6th for the 49ers results in a score.
Watch Tyler Warren as he comes off the ball. This is on him. He telegraphs it. He turns his head before he's at the top of his route. And this is why the little things matter. When he's turning his head and he's not yet gotten to the top of his route, D. Winters is not threatened whatsoever by him coming off the ball. And he's able to just sit on it and drive on the football. And we're at least positioned to try to make it a game, but that obviously by D. Winters, great play by him, just the backbreaker.
Tyler Goodson in the backfield, and a toss to Goodson running the ball with 3.5 to go. Leonard,
I feel like, but Riley Leonard now, he'll get his chance to play these next 2 weeks, I would imagine. I don't know why they would roll Phillip Rivers back out.
and he is just now getting back to practice. So now ready to go. Here is a toss to Goodson, nothing on 3rd down and 1. And that will take us to the 2-minute warning. Their percentage of chance to get into the playoffs was well under 10% coming in tonight. It'll go down. It was at 5%, and here's a 4th down try, and the pass incomplete. The 95 Raiders.
Yeah, 8-2 going into their bye, and the wheels just completely came off with Kyle Shanahan, and played some really good football. There'll be a lot of interest from him. He's got another year on his contract with the 49ers, but there'll be some teams knocking on his door to, he did his part, played well beyond what a 44-year-old should be expected to do. He had no running help. He didn't have the run game, which has been the problem down the stretch for Indianapolis, and then the defense didn't show up.
A career high. The Niners got their running game going against a good run defense behind McCaffrey, who they rode hard here tonight. They could still use more of a pass rush. You see where they are. They have a Week 18 date that's looming at home against Seattle. They've got a home date next Sunday night at home against Chicago.